Officer Mia Ramirez never thought she'd find a partner like Ranger. Not just any partner, a loyal Dutch shepherd who was more than a working dog. Ranger was the heart beating beside her, the silent shadow watching over her every step. Their bond was forged in pain and healing. Mia lost her first canine partner in a deployment overseas, a loss that almost broke her. But when she met Ranger, she saw something in his eyes, a fierce intelligence, a restless spirit that mirrored her own. "Ranger, heal," she whispered as they walked through the cold, busy halls of JFK's Terminal 4. The early morning light barely touched the polished floors, but Ranger moved with confidence. His muscles rippled under his vest, ears twitching at every sound. Mia felt the weight of his presence, steady and sure. They'd been together for 3 years now, facing dangers most people never saw. The chaos of the airport, the rushing crowds, the endless noise was their world. But amidst it all, Ranger's nose caught things no machine ever could. Mia glanced down and saw his eyes lock on something invisible to everyone else. The dog's body stiffened, tail low but tense. She tightened her grip on the leash. "What is it, boy?" Ranger didn't answer with words, but his actions spoke loud and clear. He was focused, alert, like a soldier ready to protect. Mia knew that look, it meant trouble. She remembered their first day together. The training had been tough. Ranger was intense, too intense some said. 3 handlers had tried and failed before her, but Mia saw past the sharp edges. "You're not a failure," she told him quietly, kneeling beside his kennel. "You just need someone who understands you." That moment had changed everything. Today, Ranger's instincts were pulling her into something bigger than routine patrol. The news had been quiet, just whispers about possible smuggling routes, but Mia felt it in her bones. "Stay close, Ranger. We're going to need you sharp today." As they moved deeper into the terminal, the morning crowds grew thicker. People shuffled by with luggage, unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. Mia's eyes scanned faces, but Ranger was the one truly seeing. His nose twitched, ears pricked forward. Suddenly he stopped, pulling her toward a sleek black suitcase. It was ordinary to the human eye, but to Ranger it was screaming danger. Mia's heart pounded. "What have you got, boy?" She knew their day had just begun, and that Ranger's loyalty would be tested like never before. The airport was alive with noise, luggage wheels clattering, announcements echoing, and footsteps hurrying past. To most, it was just another busy morning at JFK's Terminal 4. But for Ranger, every sound and scent was a clue. His nose twitched, catching something no human could see. Mia felt the change immediately. Ranger, usually calm and steady, now moved with tense purpose. "Easy, boy," she said softly. But he pulled slightly ahead, focused on a trail only he could follow. They had gotten word from intelligence, a whisper in the dark about a wildlife trafficking ring using diplomatic immunity to smuggle rare animals. It was a ghost story in their world, hard to prove but deadly real. Ranger's body language said this wasn't just a rumor. He was on alert, muscles coiled, eyes sharp. Mia's heart beat faster. "What do you see, Ranger? What are you telling me?" They moved closer to the arrivals section. The crowd thickened, faces full of hope or exhaustion, but Ranger's attention never wavered. He led Mia toward a group of travelers disembarking from an Emirates flight. Mia watched the people, but her eyes kept returning to Ranger. "This isn't just any day," she whispered. "There's something hidden here." Suddenly, Ranger froze near a line of designer suitcases. His ears perked, tail stiff. One black leather case stood out, its polished surface gleaming under the terminal lights. The owner, a man in a tailored suit, carried himself with a quiet confidence that set Mia on edge. She stepped forward, keeping her voice calm. "Sir, may I have a word with you?" The man's eyes flicked to Ranger, then back to Mia. "Is there a problem, officer?" His voice was smooth but held a sharp edge. "This is a routine security check," Mia said, noticing the diplomatic tag on the suitcase. "I just need to inspect your luggage briefly." The man's smile tightened. "I carry diplomatic immunity. My luggage is protected." Ranger growled low, a sound rare and serious. The man's face shifted, annoyance creeping in. Control your dog. Mia tightened her grip on Ranger's leash. He's alerting to something, sir. I have to follow his lead. A hush fell over the nearby crowd as Ranger's growl grew louder. Mia's voice was steady but firm. Please step aside. The man hesitated, eyes flickering with something unreadable. Ranger's focus was absolute. This was no ordinary suitcase. Mia felt the weight of what was coming. Today, Ranger wasn't just protecting her. He was standing between justice and a dark secret hidden behind diplomatic walls. The moment Ranger's gaze fixed on that sleek black suitcase, Mia felt the air tighten around them. The man carrying it, Dr. Ahmed Nazari, moved with a quiet confidence that came from years of diplomatic privilege. His passport, his demeanor, even the luggage tag screamed immunity. But Ranger wasn't fooled. Mia's heart pounded. Ranger, heel, she said softly. But the dog was already locked in, every muscle taut. She glanced at Nazari, who watched her with a steady, unreadable look. This is diplomatic property, Nazari said calmly, his voice carrying the weight of authority. You can't touch it. Mia's jaw tightened. I respect that, sir, but my dog is giving a clear alert. I have to follow it. Nazari's eyes flickered with annoyance. Control your dog, officer. This is unacceptable. Ranger growled. Low, a warning that Mia rarely heard. Ranger, no, she commanded, but the dog's instincts overwhelmed training. Without warning, Ranger lunged forward and sank his teeth into the suitcase. The sudden bite tore through the leather, ripping. Open a corner. Gasps erupted around them. Mia froze, heart in her throat. The crowd stared, some pulling out phones. Nazari's face twisted in shock and fury. Stop him. You don't understand. This is protected. Ranger, release, Mia ordered firmly. But the dog stayed put, his body shielding the case like a warrior guarding a sacred treasure. Mia felt torn. The rules were clear. Diplomatic immunity meant hands off. But Ranger's reaction was not a mistake. His instincts screamed danger. Nazari stepped forward, voice cold. You're risking an international incident. This is a diplomatic pouch under the highest protection. Mia stood her ground. Sir, something is very wrong here. I'm going to need to inspect the contents. Security personnel arrived quickly. Sensing the tension, Mia felt eyes on her, from her superiors, from the crowd, even from Nazari himself. Officer Ramirez, step back, a supervisor urged quietly. We don't want to escalate this. Mia shook her head. With all due respect, Ranger's alert is serious. This isn't routine. Nazari's expression hardened. You'll regret this. Mia looked down at Ranger, whose dark eyes held a fierce resolve. She knew in that moment their partnership meant everything. Trusting Ranger could mean crossing lines, but ignoring him could cost lives. Let's see what's inside, Mia said quietly, signaling for the suitcase to be taken to a secure screening area. As the case was carried away, Ranger remained alert, muscles still tense. Mia whispered, Good boy. You've done well. The bite through the case shattered the illusion that diplomatic immunity was a shield for wrongdoing. It was a crack opening a door to something hidden deep beneath the surface, a secret that would change everything. Mia felt the weight of the moment settle on her shoulders. Today, Ranger's loyalty and courage would be tested like never before. And Mia knew she had to stand by him, no matter what came next. The moment the suitcase was pried open, silence fell over the room. Mia watched Ranger stay close, his eyes scanning every inch as if sensing the weight of what lay inside. The torn leather revealed a hidden world no one expected. Tiny, carefully sealed compartments filled with life. Mia's breath caught. Inside were rare creatures, some barely moving, others barely breathing. Their delicate bodies were packed in high-tech containers, each one carefully monitored with temperature controls and tiny sensors blinking softly. This wasn't just smuggling. It was a calculated operation designed to keep these endangered animals alive for a cruel purpose. One of the wildlife experts leaned in, voice shaking. These are some of the rarest species on Earth. black-spotted newts, golden poison dart frogs, and even some birds on the brink of extinction. She pointed to a compartment where a small amphibian's gills fluttered faintly. If they survive the trip, they'll be sold for thousands. Mia felt a chill. How could anyone hide this behind diplomatic immunity? Ranger's presence felt even more vital now. He had sniffed out a nightmare hidden in plain sight. We need to alert the authorities, Mia said, voice low. This is bigger than we thought. Behind the scenes, agents swarmed, carefully documenting every detail. Ranger's steady eyes never left the fragile creatures. Each one was a silent victim of greed and cruelty. Suddenly, a technician called out, "There's a false bottom." Everyone leaned in as they uncovered another compartment beneath the animal crates. Inside, neatly stacked documents, passports, and permits lay hidden. But Mia's heart sank. The papers were forged, high quality, but fake. "This goes deeper," she whispered, feeling the cold weight of corruption. "This isn't just animal smuggling, it's a well-funded network with powerful backers." The room buzzed with urgency. A hazmat specialist warned everyone to step back from a small container they found, vials filled with a clear liquid. "These toxins come from some of those frogs," she said grimly. "Deadly biotoxins that can kill a person with a tiny drop." Mia's mind raced. This was more than wildlife trafficking. It was a criminal empire mixing life, death, and greed in a terrifying way. Ranger sat quietly, his instincts right again. "This dog saved lives today," one agent said softly. Mia looked down at Ranger, his dark eyes meeting hers with quiet understanding. "Not just lives," Mia said. "The future of entire species." The discovery shook Mia's world. The diplomatic immunity that once seemed untouchable was now cracked wide open by the teeth of a loyal dog. As they prepared to take the evidence, Mia's voice trembled with resolve. "We won't let this go. Ranger and I, we're just getting started." Behind the fragile creatures and forged papers, a brutal truth waited, and Mia knew their fight was far from over. Nazari's calm vanished in an instant. The moment the suitcase was pulled away, he broke. Mia saw it, the flicker in his eyes, the sharp twist of his mouth. Then, without warning, he bolted. "Stop. Him!" Mia shouted, sprinting after the man. Her heart pounded hard, adrenaline flooding her veins. Every second felt like a lifetime. Ranger was at her side, moving with lightning speed. His nose never left Nazari's scent, guiding Mia through the tangled corridors of the airport. The maze of hallways, security checkpoints, and crowded terminals became their battleground. "Come on, Ranger, keep up," Mia called, dodging travelers, who stared in shock. Phones were out, capturing every moment, but Mia couldn't afford to slow down. Not now. Nazari pushed past workers, his suit torn but his resolve fierce. "You don't know what you're doing," he yelled back, desperation creeping into his voice. Mia's lungs burned, but she pressed on. "You're coming with us now." The chase twisted and turned. Nazari barreled through a service corridor, knocking over a cart. Mia vaulted over, the mess Ranger right behind her. The dog's focus never wavered. Suddenly, Nazari reached a dead end, a set of double doors leading to the baggage handling area. He shoved them open and slipped inside. "Freeze!" Mia commanded, but he ignored her. Inside, workers scattered, startled by the sudden intrusion. Nazari's eyes darted, searching for an escape. He pulled something small and metallic from his jacket. Mia's blood ran cold. "What is that?" she whispered, fear gripping her. "Stop," she yelled, drawing her weapon. Nazari fired once. The bullet ricocheted, echoing sharply as people dove for cover. Ranger sprang forward with trained precision, tackling Nazari and forcing the weapon away. The man screamed, struggling against Mia and Ranger. "You don't understand what I'm protecting." Mia gritted her teeth, wrestling to hold him down. "You're endangering lives. The animals, the people, they're all at risk." Nazari twisted violently, his strength fierce and desperate. Mia felt the pain from an elbow strike, but she refused to let go. Ranger kept a firm hold on Nazari's arm, teeth locked, but careful not to harm. The dog's loyalty was clear, protecting Mia and stopping this man no matter the cost. Backup officers flooded the area, weapons drawn and ready. Mia quickly cuffed one wrist, trying to keep control as Nazari thrashed. "You've lost," she said through gritted teeth. "This ends now." Nazari's cold glare softened just a little, but the fight was over. Ranger sat alert beside Mia, panting but steady. In that moment, Mia felt the weight of their mission heavier than ever. Every second mattered. Every life depended on their courage. The pursuit was only the beginning. The moment Nazari was cuffed, Mia thought the hardest part was over. But the truth was just beginning to unravel. The suitcase they'd seized was only the surface of a darker, deeper web of deceit. Back at the security office, Mia watched as agents pored over the forged documents found in the hidden compartment. Passports, customs declarations, diplomatic permits, all expertly forged to fool even the most careful eyes. "This is high-level forgery," an agent said quietly. "Someone went to great lengths to cover their tracks." Mia's mind raced. "Who else is involved?" she asked, her voice tight with tension. "More than one accomplice," the agent replied. "This isn't just one man acting alone, it's a network." Ranger sat alert at her side, sensing the weight of the moment. Mia knew he felt it too, that this fight was bigger than any single suspect. Then came the warning from the hazmat specialist. "The vials from the suitcase contain deadly biotoxins," she explained. "Extracted from poisoned dart frogs. Just a tiny drop can kill." Mia's stomach twisted. These toxins were part of the smuggling operation, hidden alongside the animals and fake papers. It wasn't just about wildlife trafficking. It was about weapons disguised in a suitcase. She looked at Ranger, who sat watching quietly, his dark eyes steady. He had sniffed out more than just animals. Mia's phone buzzed with a message from Interpol. The name Fared Malik appeared, a notorious trafficker linked to wildlife smuggling across continents. And Nazari's real identity was a lie. "This is bigger than we thought," Mia murmured. Her supervisor's voice came over the radio, tense and urgent. "Diplomatic channels are already pushing back. The embassy wants Nazari released immediately." Mia clenched her fists. "We can't let politics stop us." As the pieces fell into place, Mia felt the crushing weight of corruption. Diplomatic immunity had been used as a shield for criminals. The animals were only one part of the story. "We're fighting against a network that reaches far beyond this airport," she said softly. "And every second counts." Ranger pressed close as if sharing her resolve. Mia's eyes hardened. "This isn't just about one arrest anymore. It's about stopping a ruthless operation that threatens life itself." The battle had grown darker and more dangerous, but Mia and Ranger were ready to face it no matter the cost. Diplomatic pressure came like a storm. Calls flooded in, demanding Nazari's immediate release. "He has immunity," one official insisted. "You must let him go." Mia felt the weight of those words pressing down on her. Every protocol, every rule seemed to turn against her, but she stood firm. "I understand the pressure," she said quietly. But Ranger's alert was real, and the evidence is clear. The tension in the room was thick. Supervisors and diplomats argued, voices raised behind closed doors. Mia's heart raced, but her resolve only grew stronger. Ranger sat beside her, calm but alert. His eyes never left the door, ready for whatever came next. One diplomat sneered, "This is a dangerous game you're playing, Officer Ramirez. Releasing Nazari is not an option." Mia met the gaze without flinching. Protecting innocent lives is not a game. Ranger's instincts saved animals, people, maybe even lives we don't fully understand yet. The political battle raged, but Mia's mind stayed on the creatures hidden inside that suitcase. They didn't have voices. They couldn't fight back. Ranger's loyalty gave them a chance. "Do you really think this dog could uncover what we missed?" a supervisor whispered to Mia. "I know he did," she replied softly. Days passed with negotiations and threats, but Mia refused to back down. "Justice can't be delayed by politics," she said firmly. Nazari's smirk faded as his options slipped away. The illusion of immunity cracked under the weight of truth. Ranger remained a silent warrior, unwavering, courageous, the steady heart in a world full of shadows. Mia knew their fight was more than a case, it was a stand against corruption and lies. "Stay strong, Ranger," she whispered one evening as they prepared for the next steps. "You're more than a dog. You're the reason this story matters." In a place where power and privilege tried to silence the truth, Mia and Ranger became a beacon of hope. Their bond, tested by danger and doubt, shone through. And in that moment, Mia realized something powerful. Sometimes, courage means standing alone. But with Ranger by her side, she wasn't afraid to fight. Because this was more than protocol. It was about doing what was right, no matter the cost. The moment had finally come. After days of relentless investigation, Mia's team was ready to strike. The intelligence was clear, the targets marked, and the pressure higher than ever. This wasn't just about one man anymore. It was about dismantling an entire wildlife trafficking network. Mia stood beside Ranger, her loyal partner, feeling the familiar weight of purpose settle over her. "This is what we've been working for, boy," she whispered. Ranger's ears perked as if he understood every word. The operation moved quickly. Officers swarmed multiple locations, catching accomplices off guard. Phones rang, doors were kicked open, and the web of deceit started to unravel. Back at the temporary animal care center, the rescued creatures began to show signs of life. The fragile newts, the colorful frogs, and the tiny birds, once hidden in cruel captivity, were now breathing fresh air. A wildlife expert smiled softly. "These little ones have a chance now, thanks to you." Mia's heart swelled. It wasn't just about catching criminals. It was about saving lives. "Ranger, you did good," Mia said, scratching behind his ears. The dog wagged his tail, proud but humble. But the fight wasn't over. News spread fast and political forces pushed back. Still, Mia stayed firm. "We're not done," she told her team. "This is just the beginning." Through the chaos, Ranger remained a steady presence, a symbol of courage and trust. His keen nose had cracked the case when technology failed. His loyalty had saved countless creatures from extinction. One night, as Mia watched Ranger resting after a long day, she reflected on their journey. "You're more than a dog, Ranger, you're a hero." The partnership between human and animal had proven stronger than corruption and greed. As the network crumbled, Mia knew their story was a beacon of hope. "For every shadow, there's a light," she said quietly. "And we'll keep fighting until every innocent life is safe." Ranger lifted his head, eyes shining with trust and determination. Together, they had triumphed against the odds, and their fight for justice would never end. The dust had settled, but the weight of the day lingered in the air. Mia sat quietly beside Ranger, watching as the rescued animals struggled to heal. Their tiny bodies, once crushed by cruelty, now showed signs of fragile hope. "Look at them, Ranger," Mia whispered. "They're fighting to live, just like we did." Ranger's dark eyes met hers, full of quiet understanding. In that moment, they shared something deeper than words, a bond forged through sacrifice and purpose. The wildlife team moved gently, tending to each creature with care. Mia's heart ached knowing how close many had come to losing their fight. "This is why we do this," she said softly, "for every life that deserves a chance." But the victory was bittersweet. The scars ran deep, not just on the animals, but on everyone involved. Mia thought of the long road ahead, legal battles, more investigations, and the constant struggle against greed. Her hand brushed Ranger's fur. "We've come so far, but there's still so much to do." Ranger leaned into her touch, steady and strong. His loyalty was a beacon in the dark, a reminder that even in the hardest moments, hope survived. Mia recalled the chase, the danger, the moments when giving up seemed easier. Yet here they were, standing together, having made a difference. She smiled, tears prickling. You saved more than animals, Ranger. You saved a piece of me. Outside the quiet room, the world kept turning. But inside, a promise was made, to protect the voiceless, to fight for justice no matter the cost. Mia looked down at Ranger and said, "We'll keep going, boy. For them. For us." In that soft, shared silence, two warriors healed, wounded, but unbroken, ready to face whatever came next. Back at JFK, the air was thick with a mix of pride and relief. Mia stood beside Ranger as officers, officials, and wildlife experts gathered to honor their bravery. The once quiet Dutch shepherd who had silently led the charge now stood tall with a quiet dignity. Today, we recognize not just Officer Ramirez, but Ranger, whose sharp instincts saved countless lives, the Port Authority director announced. Applause filled the room, but Mia's eyes stayed on Ranger, the true hero of the day. Mia knelt down, brushing a hand over Ranger's head. "You did good, boy. Better than good." Ranger's tail wagged slowly, as if understanding the weight of what they'd accomplished together. Their story quickly spread beyond the airport walls. News outlets shared how a loyal dog had bitten through diplomatic immunity and uncovered a dark secret. People everywhere began to see the powerful bond between handler and canine, how trust and courage could break through even the toughest barriers. "Your partnership shows the world that heroes don't always wear badges," one reporter said. "Sometimes they have paws." Mia smiled but remained focused. This victory is just one step. Wildlife trafficking is still a huge problem worldwide. She looked down at Ranger, who rested his head on her knee. "We have to keep fighting for every creature who can't speak for itself." The fight wasn't over, but their legacy had already taken root. Inspired by Mia and Ranger, new handlers and dogs stepped up, ready to protect the voiceless and uncover the hidden dangers lurking in the shadows. Sometimes all it takes is one brave dog and one determined handler to change the world, Mia said quietly. That's what we showed today. As she stood, Ranger by her side, Mia felt a deep sense of purpose. Their bond had carried them through danger, doubt, and political games. Now it was a symbol of hope for anyone willing to stand up for justice. The airport buzzed with life outside, but inside Mia and Ranger knew their journey was far from over. "Ready for the next mission?" Mia asked softly. Ranger's eyes sparkled with fierce loyalty. Together they walked forward, partners in courage, champions of the silent, and guardians of a future where even the smallest voice could be heard. One dog's bite had changed the world, and their story was just beginning.